All right, then. We have our correspondent, Ibrahim Alege, live for us in Ilorin, the Kwara state capital. Ibrahim, you've been on the streets all day yesterday, Saturday. What is the update now from Kwara State?
Well, thank you very much. The update is that INEC has started collating results at the INEC office in the state capital, that's in Ilorin. So far, one local government has been declared. Two other local governments are on standby. But the remaining local government, because just like I said earlier, because of the geographical location of Kwara State and the peculiarity of some of the local governments, some would have to come later, much later in the day, maybe in the Sunday afternoon or so. So we may have to reconvene again. But as at now, just only one local government, Ekiti local government, has been declared. Office on standby, and also equally on standby. So as it is now, just only one local government has so far been declared, while others are still being awaited. And that's been the situation. But
okay, what local government is that has been taken?
That's Ekiti local government has been taken. All yes.
Right. Everything about Ekiti.
Yeah, but you will expect that even Kwara Central being so close to with the headquarters so close to the seat of power, we expect that the result will have been in by now. Ekiti is even a little bit far from
away.
The state capital. How come that is the first to go in?
Yes, if you ask, I think the first local government that should actually come in should be Ilorin West local government. But this is where you have the highest number of registered voters. 4 local governments combined is not even up to Ilorin West local government, where the state headquarters is located. When you talk about Ekiti, Isin, maybe Oyun, then one other local government. If you combine these 4 local governments together, they are not up to the total number of voters in Ilorin. And, you know, the result has to follow the normal trajectory from polling unit to wards, then to local government before they now bring them collect everything at the state headquarters of INEC. So that's why Ilorin West has not come in, Ilorin South has not come in. But the ones that you'd expect that will come in much, much later are those of Barutin and Kayama because of their peculiarity. These are the 2 local governments that share border with Benin Republic. So before you can even access these places because of the terrain, you have to go through Oyo State, then later come back to Kwara State. Then some communities are actually at the border of Nigeria and Benin Republic. So it will take like between 6 and 7 hours before you can come in. And the roads are terribly bad. So these local governments will come much, much later. So I will not be surprised if those local governments will come later in the day, even maybe at night. You never can tell. But for Ilorin West, Ilorin South, Ilorin East, these are heavily populated local governments. And you never can tell there may be issues, the need to add and subtract, ensure that the calculations are well and right before you can take them to the INEC headquarters in Ilorin. So that's why I feel that results from Ilorin West may be a bit delayed, but the ones that will be much, much delayed are those of Barutin and Kayama local government.
But for now, Ibrahim, have we gotten any word about postponement of election in any of the polling units and local governments in the state?
No, not at all. Unless and until these coalition officers from respective local governments come to present the results at the INEC office in Ilorin, that's when they will be able to tell us what happened in each polling unit. If there was violence, the need to cancel. If there was overvoting, they may have to cancel. So it's when they are collating the results at the INEC office that they'll be able to tell us, you know, what actually transpired in some of these polling units, if there's any need for them to cancel or not. So it's only when they come to the INEC office that they'll be able to tell us this.
But generally, what has been the mood, security situation as the elections held?
Kwara, you know, is known to be a relatively peaceful state. That's why it has the appellation of the state of harmony. Hardly do you have, you know, these violent activities. But then, you know, it's political period. You cannot completely rule it out. And that's why the security operatives were actually proactive in ensuring that all the security operatives were well deployed to the state. Particularly, you notice the presence of even the Nigerian army. The men of the Nigerian army, they are visible in most parts of Ilorin, the Kwara state capital. And interestingly, the governorship candidate of the APC, who one can conveniently refer to as the leader of the party in the state, that's the governor, Ibrahim Alege, and the leader of the SDP in the state, former Senate President collates, they are what share boundary. That's when you talk of the governor is from Adewale Ward, collates is from Ajikobi Ward. Both of them are from Ilorin West. The sort of the boundary between the two, between the two wards, you have soldiers, in between the boundaries, so that you don't give room for, any lapses in terms of security. And also in some, I guess these are red zones. That's why they actually put soldiers there. You also have at Idiakwe, at Adita, the major junctions. You have soldiers, then you have some other security operatives too. You have the police, you have the NSCDC and the rest. So everywhere was actually well manned. And at the end of the day, I've not heard of any crisis or any problem, within the state capital and even outside the state capital.
Robert has a question for you.
Now,
Okay.
let's assess the performance of INEC vis-a-vis what we experienced 3 weeks ago. Would you say that they've acquitted themselves much better this time around?
Yes, the performance on Saturday, that's yesterday, it's not yesterday, was actually, if I have to rate them, I think it's over 90%, because they got to, even before we got to most of the polling units, we met them past 7, they were there, no complaint from them, except, the PDP governorship candidate who complained that though in his word everything went fine, but he said he could not use that to judge everything that transpired in the state. He said he had a report that in a particular village, in his local government, that's a local government, that the INEC officials did not bring the INEC stamp, and the people refused to vote. So as at past 11, they insisted that if the stamp was not brought, they were not going to cast their votes. So I think that was about the only place where I had negative reports about the performance of INEC. But say for that, everywhere we went, in fact, in some polling units, around GRA area where, they are less populated, as at 12, not even before 12, they were done with casting their ballots. The INEC officials were just waiting for time. Maybe 1 or 2 persons will still, come in. They have to wait for like 2:30 before they, they move their way. But everything went seamlessly. Less populated polling units, they finished on time. Where there are a lot of population, they have to wait, till the right time for them to finish. But generally, what I observe is that there was this voter apathy. Not many people came out to vote, unlike what we witnessed 3 weeks ago. INEC did their job well, but the people did not really turn out. But then this will be appropriately measured when the results are announced finally. That's where we have the total number of voters compared to now the total number of voters that we had 3 weeks ago. Just a bit of statistics here. Kwara State has over 1.6 million registered voters, over 1.5 million collected PVC. But in the last election, less than 500,000 voters voted, meaning that less than 1/3 of the total number of registered voters actually participated in the election. So let's see what happens in this election. If you're going to have less than 500 or more than 500, then we can now say whether the number of people that came out on Saturday, this Saturday, yesterday, was more than what we had 3 weeks ago or less.
Judging by what transpired in the past, would you say that the PDP gambit to look in the direction of Kwara North in picking his candidate, would you say that is likely to influence the voting pattern in any way?
Well, from the results we saw 3 weeks ago, and from some of the results trickling in, just like I told you that the local government result has been declared, APC is actually taking the lead. Now, there has been clamor, by the people of Kwara North for them to produce governor, and that's why the PDP tilted towards it. But the major factor in Kwara politics is Kwara Central, and that was what played out during the Otoge struggle in 2019. Both parties were they were watching each other closely. That wherever you picked your candidate, that's where I was going to pick my candidate. So just like just a day difference between the two of them, I think immediately the APC picked Ibrahim Alege from Kwara Central. PDP had no choice, despite clamor from the Kwara North. They had to pick somebody from Kwara Central as well. That's Razak Atunwa. But this time around, PDP had to go to Kwara North because of the clamor. The last time a Kwara Northerner was the governor of Kwara State was 1991. It's been a long time. But the Kwara Central factor is a big factor in Kwara politics. So whoever wants to win Kwara State, you have to get the understanding of the people of Kwara Central. If a party is picking somebody from Kwara Central, if you are picking somebody from another senatorial district, you have to get a strong understanding of the people of Kwara Central to go along, with your strategy. If not, you are bound to lose. I think, yes, PDP has tried to kind of to placate the people of Kwara North with, picking candidates from their part of the state, but that may not absolutely work because of the influence of Kwara Central. The APC candidate from Kwara Central is just his first term. Then more so, it's like a change of government entirely. They believe that a family has been dominating, the Saraki family has been dominating, even if he's not the governor, whoever he nominated, was always the governor. So they felt, let's shift a bit from the Saraki family, let's try another set of people. So that's why the strategy of the PDP, of the PDP to go to Kwara North may not absolutely, work out for them this time around. Then again, the person you picked from, where you picked the candidates from, Kwara North has 5 local governments. Just like the guests they were saying in the studio that you cannot absolutely say ethnicity, doesn't have anything to play in the Nigerian politics. So of course, it has a big factor. It's a no-pay man, and the no-pay land has just local government in Kwara North. The other part of Kwara North, one is Moro local government, which is more or less part of the Ilorin Emirates. The other 2 local governments are Kayama and Barutin. These are the farthest local government from Ilorin, the state capital. That's why I told you that they share border with Benin Republic. No, these people are Baruba. So the politics of Kwara North may not really favor PDP all the same, because the person you chose is from the Nupe land, and those from Baruba aspect, their population is much higher than those of the Nupe, ethnic group. So Kwara Central, just like I said, is a big factor. If you're going to pick somebody from Kwara North, you have to get the understanding of the people of Kwara Central. From 1999 to 2003, the former governor Mohammed Alabi Lawal from Kwara Central. Thereafter, you have Bukola Saraki from 2003 to 2011. Then from 2011 to 2019, you have somebody from Kwara South. That's Abdul Fattah Ahmed. Of course, is the political son of godson, if I may use that word, of Bukola Saraki. Now he's back to Kwara Central. So that's why the people of Kwara North are clamoring. But then, if you have to give it to somebody from Kwara North, you need to get the understanding of the people of Kwara Central.
Now, how come, in spite of at least 3 of the dominant parties picking candidates, picking their candidates from Kwara Central. What usually happens, votes being split amongst them. How come it has not happened this time? Is it that the people just made up their minds that, yes, despite the fact that we have at least 3 of our sons, contesting, it is one of them that we want? So what really happened? Because many people thought that by the time the Kwara Central people split their votes among Professor Oba, Lawal, and the incumbent governor, that the candidate from the north will have some form of advantage. How come this expectation that the votes will be shared did not become an advantage to the sole candidate from the north?
Well, it's quite funny that that was the thinking of many people, but then it's not panning out that way. Even when you look at the presidential election, APC cleared everything, won all the local governments, won all the House of Reps seats, all the Senate seats, and of course the presidential election too. The APC won everything. Now let me give you an example of the SDP candidates. Akim Lawal, son of former governor. His elder sister is in the APC. He's a serving commissioner and also an House of Assembly aspirant. I was at their family house today. Yes, should we go for our son as governor or our daughter as a potential House of Assembly member? Now, it now depends on how good you are to people of your family. Now, from the results I've been seeing, don't yet to be officially, declared. I think the APC is doing well. So family issue is there. Then again, because the people of Ilorin will look at, okay, who has a better chance? Now, among these people, of course, you have the incumbent governor. The factor is there as the governorship candidate in 2019. You can say that is the face of Otoge struggle. Now he's going back for another term. He has the best chance, among them. Professor Ibrahim Oba, NNPP, during the presidential election, was actually nowhere to be found. You talk about the YPP governorship candidate, Yakubu Obiri, just 2 days to the election. He had to step down for the governor. He was part of the Otoge struggle as well. The Labour Party governorship candidate, relatively unknown, but because of the result of the presidential election, though not in Kwara, because Labour Party in Kwara State is absolutely nowhere to be found. But because of the results, the national results, he also fancied his chances had to align with the PDP. Because he said they told them at the national level that they could align with the PDP where they feel that the PDP has a better chance. But even within that party, the ESCO of the party was saying that, no, we are not aligned with the party. You cannot take a unilateral decision. So there's a problem within the Labour Party, even within the state, despite the fact that their candidates is from Kwara Central. The same thing with the SDP, just like I said earlier on, his sister is of the APC, while the younger brother is the governorship candidate of the SDP. And I understand that even some of his front runners, some of his people who are very close to him actually also worked for the APC. And it cut across like that. The NNPP doesn't have a solid structure in the states. Politics is not just about, oh, I'm from here, I'm from there. You have to have a solid, sound structure, which the APC has. The PDP equally has it. So that's why the influence of these other persons in Kwara Central would actually not really affect the chances of the governor.
All right, Ibrahim Alege, thank you for that update. Very explanatory there from Kwara State. We'll definitely get back to you for more on the collation of results and the announcement. Ibrahim Alege for us there in Kwara State.